Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today, let's see why this motor's making a bunch of noise, huh? Let's dig in. All right, guys, so this one's knocking on heaven's door here. I believe it's got a spun rod bearing. Could be wrong, but we're gonna find out. So, you guys remember the rat truck that I did, right? I put the motor together for a little 40 horse. We did the whole episode. We're not gonna get crazy with that with this one. We're gonna tear it down, see what's broken, order some parts, send it off to the machine shop, and maybe I'll bring you back for, you know, just a quick through putting it back together, but it's not gonna be crazy 9 episodes like last time. So let's just dig in and see what's going on with this thing. Let's get this intake off and let's get rolling, huh? And anyways, this is the engine. This is the engine that was in that truck, and that's why we built the other motor. So I know I've been gone a minute. I've been doing some other things, trying to get my business up and going, and I apologize that I haven't been around as much making as many videos. Hopefully in the near future that'll change. Gotta get a magnet tray. Put all the nuts and bolts in. Try not to make a gigantic mess. So this engine here that you see me work on, this is a 1600, and it's nothing real special. It's just a stock motor, 1600, dual port heads, you know, the common stuff for Volkswagen. And I think we're gonna try to save this one like we did the last one. And hopefully all goes well. But yeah, I think that the build on this one is gonna be, I think we're just going to do a 1641 with an aftermarket camshaft, something like a, you know, like 1 step up from stock, maybe 2, you know, something like that. Nothing crazy, you know, my favorite saying. But yeah, I think that's going to be the route that we're going to go with this one. Hopefully it didn't damage the case. Hopefully. We will find out. One intake manifold. I always thought these things looked kind of funny. They work good though. Just gonna try to keep everything as organized as possible as we do this, because a lot of this is going to wind up being reused. This poor, sorry, beat up oil cooler, we're not reusing. But a lot of this other stuff, we're probably going to wind up reusing, like the intake manifold, the carburetor, the tins that are on it, hopefully the cylinder heads. And yeah, we're going to try to reuse as much of this as possible. Volkswagen stuff today, for authentic stuff, is kind of getting hard to find. So we're gonna shoot for the moon here. And I'm still hoping that we don't have that we don't have something wrong with the case. Really? Well, that's a plus, no Black Widows. All right, well, we're at this point now. Let's, because like I said, I don't know exactly what went wrong. So let's pull the spark plugs out of this thing and see if they've been regapped mechanically. Well, other than being blacker than night, looks like she was running a little rich. Might have been burning some oil. That one's good. Basically the same thing on this one. You know, learning to read your spark plugs is a very crucial thing. You know, when you don't have all the digital stuff to, you know, the computer and thing like that, to tell you what your air fuel ratio is, tell you how hot the spark is and this and that. Learning to read your spark plugs is a pretty crucial thing about putting motors together. Maybe I'll do an episode on just that. I don't know, let me know. Let me know, guys, if you guys want to know about that stuff. Sometimes I think that stuff bores people, so that's why I don't try to bore you too much, but there you go. Focus. Focus, you turd. Oh, this camera. Here we go. If you can see there, gap is still good so far. So no wrist pin damage or anything like that yet. So we don't have any wrist pin damage that I notice of. Anyways, nothing gigantic is jumping out at me. But yeah, it was running a little rich, and it looked like one of the cylinders had a little bit of oil. So, well, you know, old motor. All right, let me get something to prop this up real quick, and I think we're gonna start making a mess here. Hang on. So, I like to buy these. Let me show you real quick. I'm tearing down a motor like this. This is just I guess they call it a multi-use pan, and it's used for doing concrete work and mortar work, things like that. I find these to be absolutely invaluable. Is that how you say that? Invaluable? I don't know. I find them to be very, very useful. Let's put it that way. Catches all the motor oil, so you don't wind up with you know, a giant oil slick in your driveway or your garage. Works really good when draining an antifreeze out of a vehicle too, because look at how long it is. Basically covers the whole radiator, so works good. All right, let's get this crank pulley off of here real fast. Maybe. There we go. She's off. Let me bring you back in a minute. I think we're gonna pull the heads off of this thing and the jugs and see where we're at. Be right back. All right, guys. Got the rocker off, rocker assembly and the push rods. They all look normal. So let's get this head off of here and let's see what we find, huh? Let's get these washers out of here. Whooshers. However you choose to say it. Let's see. Really? Where'd my magnet go? And these are important when you go put the motor back together. You got to have the washers or you'll just be tearing up the aluminum head. So it is kind of important to have. All right. Now, see if we can't gently separate this. And I mean gently. Because the last thing you want to go do is start beating on things and breaking these fins, and then now you owe the guy a cylinder head. I guess it's gonna come off all at once. I'd rather do that, honestly, than break the fins. It's not the way they're supposed to come apart, but at least it didn't break the fins. So, you guys remember when I said I thought it was an oil starvation problem and it was probably a rod bearing? Might have spun or something like that. Check this out. This is normal, right? No play. Listen to this. So I got to get the rest of this motor tore down so that I can check the crank, because crankshaft might be ruined. And you know what the really sad part is? Looking in here, it looks like most of this motor was brand new inside. It had pretty decent jugs on it. They were Brazil. I mean, they're a little worn out, but they were Brazil, made in Brazil. Decent jugs, decent pistons. The rings didn't look that bad. I mean, they're worn. They've got some time on them, but the engine looks almost new inside. So, and now I got to break the news to the poor fellow that owns it. We might be looking for rod and crankset. I don't know. Let's get the rest of this thing tore down and we'll check it out, huh? All right, guys. Well, you see I got the rest of it tore down. Let's, I mean, we already found the rod. Let's split this case open and take a peek-see. And let's see what the carnage looks like, huh? Oh boy. Make sure I'm recording. I haven't done so hot today on the camera, guys. All right, grab a hold of her, give her a little wiggle wiggle. Come on. Oh, brother. Come on. There we go. Oh, there goes the lifters. Well, guys, I don't know. It smells like it got pretty hot. That was obviously the wrong thing to do. Let's just set this over here for now. See, now you can really see. You can really see how bad that guy there took a beating. Let's go ahead and get our rear seal. Oop, need that. Rear seal in our shim. Gonna keep the shim so that we can, be able to set the end play on the crank when we put it back together. I did talk to Keith though, and I'm pretty certain we are going to be replacing some engine parts. It looks like, ooh, oh yeah. Look at that guy. That is the middle bearing, the split bearing. That is not supposed to look like that. That is no good. Like I said, guys, I was pretty sure we were going to find carnage. So on this crankshaft, let's check this rear bearing. And you can see rear bearing's got a bit of wear on her too. But I'll show you. That's not supposed to be like that. And looking at the rest of this, ooh. That was the squeaking noise, I think. This guy right here. You can see we have bearing foil. It's not even bearing material anymore. And that is on the crankshaft. Let's take a look at this cam. Now the cam, honestly guys, doesn't look too terrible. And it is just a stock cam, Volkswagen. The cam bearings, oh yeah, they're all munched. Let's take a look at these lifters. The lifters are done. So on these Volkswagens, when you look at these, so I can clean this off real quick, see if I can. They're supposed to be, you can't really see it on the camera, I'm sorry guys. Anyways, in the center here is supposed to protrude just a little bit higher than the rest of the surrounding area of the lifter. And this one is concaved, so yeah, we're gonna need new lifters too. These are all wore out. They look like they got a ton of miles on them. But I'm thinking what happened was, the guy that originally put this all together, oh yeah, look at that, more metal. The guy that originally put this all together, I think he put some rods on it, some pistons and some jugs, put it all back together, and I think there was a blockage in the oil somewhere. It starved the bearings and the rest of the motor, because like a few of the push rods, when I pulled them out, usually when you pull them out, they leak a little bit of oil. They didn't have any oil coming out. So it's definitely an oil starvation problem. Yeah, all of these lifters are hosed. Every one of them. They're all garbage. Is there one still in there? Yeah, there's one still in there. Yeah, it's looks like new lifters. Gonna have to have all this checked and make sure, because this thing got pretty hot. So I'm gonna make sure that everything is true. We're gonna go ahead and go with probably a new crank and rod set, all new bearings. Gonna do a bit of a performance camshaft, probably a Weber carburetor system, and gonna rebuild the dual port heads, and you know, just make it a good runner. But we have to make sure that this block is true and straight. So I guess the next step is take everything to the machinist and see if he tells me if it's a or a oh. So we'll see. I don't think the block itself took any damage. It might have gotten hot, but I I don't really foresee it taking like an abundance of damage, but every single bearing in this motor is just, I mean, they're just gone, they're wiped out. As I showed you the foil and the center bearing. So let me, let's pull this rod out real quick on this, this crankshaft, and let's see what we're looking at here. Oh, and I was gonna show you too, since I got it apart, you know, Volkswagens, they don't have oil filters, they have a screen. So you can see there's a chunk of material, maybe. You can see there's a big chunk of material right there. This thing is just loaded, I mean, loaded with sparkles. So yeah, it sent a whole bunch of metal through the block, through all the oil galleys and everything. It's gonna be a mess. So let's get that out of there. Oh, that's adorable. Anyways, don't forget your cam button. So let's just get this rod off here and take a look at the surface of this crankshaft, shall we? Hang on one second. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, this is good. So you see, there's a piece of the foil right there that used to be a bearing. This thing is just trashed. And see, we can't. Okay, you see this discoloration right here? This thing got really hot before the bearing gave way. I mean, she got toasty. And the crank, oh, you guys are gonna love this. So, the bearing is actually welded to the crankshaft. I mean, it took a beating. So yeah, I think we're gonna get a new crank. I gotta strip all the gears and bearings and everything off of this one, but I think we're gonna get a new crankshaft. So thanks for coming along this time. I got to see why this old girl was knocking on heaven's door, huh? And I'll bring you back when I get everything back together and get the parts, you know, together, and we're gonna paint the block and everything like the last motor, make it look nice, you know, and put just a good quality motor back together for the guy. So if you're watching this, Keith, yeah, sorry man. I guess that's just the way the luck goes sometimes, my friend. And I will bring you back when we get the rest of the stuff back from the machinist, get everything painted, get the parts in, and I don't know, maybe do a quick, you know, go through it real fast, show you how to, you know, how it comes together or whatever, just not a how-to like before. So if you like the content and you want to learn something, because we all learn something every day, right? If you like the content, please like and subscribe. Don't be afraid to leave comments. I like to interact with people. So yeah, thanks for stopping by. Have a good one, guys.